The storm is finally over. I am so incredibly excited. We have had like almost 3 weeks of like sub-freezing temperatures and frozen rain, snow, you name it, all of which means that I was not out in my greenhouse and I was not doing a whole lot of gardening. So we're back and ready to start one of my favorite crops. My second favorite crop, peppers. It's still a little bit chillier outside than I thought it would be, so I think all I'm gonna do while I'm out here is fill up the 72 cell trays that I need. I'm gonna need 3 of them for today. Then I'm gonna go inside where it's nice and warm and I'm going to actually fill them up. But of course, I wanted to share with you guys the varieties that I have chosen for this year. And peppers aren't the only thing that I'm starting. There's also a couple of flowers. The ones, if you recall, that we did cold stratifying together. We have a true lavender, Vero lavender, 2 different types of showy milkweed. I don't know why I'm showing you the package, but butterfly milkweed and swamp milkweed. That is the timing of those particular seeds. And then we have the peppers. So I'm gonna do 1 flat of these seeds, and it is Purple Beauty, Chocolate Beauty, Keystone Resistant Giant Pepper, Coral Bell Pepper. Why am I covering? I'm sorry. Coral Bell Pepper, Ozark Giant Pepper, Sunbright Poblano, a Big Red Pepper, California Cal Wonder Bell Pepper, and California Wonder Bell Pepper. I don't know how to pronounce that, but some type of paprika. Shishito, this is one of my hubby's favorite non-spicy ones. Mamma Mia Giallo Pepper, and Mamma Mia Rosso Pepper. Apocalypse Scorpion. I'm just going to plant a couple of these next ones because they're just super duper hot. And you only need a couple of them. Habanero Caribbean Orange Pepper, Carolina Reaper, Bahoot Jolokia, and a Mushroom Red Pepper. A couple of those last ones, you can tell how dangerous they are just by looking at them. For the hotter peppers, well, not hotter than those last 5, but hotter nonetheless, we have Chinese 5-color pepper. These things look so cool. It's almost like a little decoration. Hungarian Yellow Wax Hot Pepper, Buena Malata Pepper. These things are really, really good. Ancho Grande Hot Pepper, a Chiltepin Pepper, Tabasco Pepper, a Dattel Pepper, some of our self-saved cherry peppers, Jimmy Nardello Pepper, Biquino Pepper? Biquino? I don't know. I'm trying, guys. A Lemon Drop Pepper, Biquino Yellow Pepper. I'm not sure if that's the same variety. The other one was like, it was green and red, and this one's yellow, so maybe it's just a different variety. Haji Charapita Pepper. Some of these peppers, man. Cardi West Indies Red, Pasilla Boho Hot Pepper. That one's pretty cool. It was a really big, like a big long pepper. Sugar Rush Peach Pepper. These things are so good. A jalapeno pepper from Survival Garden Seeds. A jalapeno from M.I. Gardener. Zapoteg jalapeno pepper. These ones are good. My only issue with them is that they have a tendency to crack, and they definitely did when I grew them last year. Craig's Grande jalapeno. They are some big old peppers. And then from So True Seeds, a cayenne long thin pepper. And then another one from Baker Creek. Thai red chili pepper. and a serrano. So since the weather is not quite what I had hoped it would be, I'm just going to fill up these trays and then we're going to head inside and check on the previous round of seeds that we've already started together. So the seedlings are all doing okay. I turned off the grow lights because they are just atrocious to try and film in front of. But the onions are not doing super great. Actually, I might need to turn on. Let's see how it looks. I guess it's not awful. But these onions are, you can tell, not doing the best. I'm not very surprised by that because they're very old. This flat of onions, however, must have not been quite so old. And we have our, the Brussels sprouts are doing fine. And I'm realizing that I need to come in here with a fan. I need to pick up a fan next time I go into town and throw it in here. You can see they're all just kind of spindly and not doing super great. There's a bug. And they're getting moldy. So I need to increase the ventilation in here and lessen the amount that I'm watering them, even though I really didn't think I was watering too much. But they're not doing great. But I mean, they're sprouting. They're doing fantastic. And I think coming up here next week, I'm going to up pot them and throw them out in the greenhouse. So they're doing great. And there's, you know, some of them that I had double planted. I'm going to come through and snip off the extras, just so there's only one growing out of each one. The celery and the celeriac are not doing super great. I was kind of hoping that I'd have better success, but I don't. I don't know if the mold is coming through on screen, but it's pretty bad. This particular tray is definitely doing the worst. I'm going to have to get a fan going in here to get the ventilation and get the air moving in here, get the seedlings a little bit stronger, and keep better track of my watering. In honor of the upcoming Fermented February, which is going to begin on Thursday with the very first video, I had started to attempt to reconstitute some dehydrated sourdough starter. It did not go well. It did not go well at all. It molded within like a couple of days, and it's just been sitting there all lonely ever since then. And when I told my sister that that happened, my sister over at the Fermented Homestead, she sent me some of her sourdough starter, which I'm very excited about. I've always been very happy to have the sourdough starter that I had. It was gifted to me by a viewer, and it was like ridiculously old. It was like more than 200 years old, and I'm very thankful for it. Unfortunately, it looks like it might have been dead. I will probably retry it, but not just yet, because I'm very excited to have a little piece of my sister here with me. She lives in Hawaii right now, and well, she not right now. She lives in Hawaii, and I live in Missouri, so we don't get to see each other a whole lot, about once a year. And so I'm just really excited to kind of have this little piece of my sister here. She sent, I'm not sure if it's going to be viable, because it was supposed to get here. It took about a week longer than it was supposed to take. There must have been some issue with shipping. It was supposed to get here last Saturday, and it got here yesterday, or technically the day before yesterday, but I didn't know it was in my mailbox because the tracking information was all wonky and weird, and it still said that it was in Honolulu, so I didn't bother to check my mail. But anyways, it's been very cold, so I'm really hoping that this thing is going to survive, and we are getting ready to feed this thing, get it going, and we're gonna see how it works, because I really want to make me some sourdough. And this right here is proof that I really want to make me some sourdough starter. We're gonna do it in a half-gallon jar. The process is exactly the same thing as if you were just feeding a sourdough starter. It's been unfed for more than a week, so I really don't know if this thing is going to survive. And if it doesn't, then my sister said that she would send it to me again, but this time overnight it, and hopefully it'll come quicker. I don't know if you can quite tell on here, but there is almost no hooch in this bag, so I'm feeling encouraged that this might work. So we're gonna go ahead and just mix it basically equal parts. Okay, it doesn't smell awful. It's very thin. So close to 100 grams. Just a little bit more. I'm just gonna put in the flour and then enough water to kind of bring it to the right consistency. Get it all mixed in there. Oh yeah, we'll definitely need some water. You want to make sure that you're using kind of some not cold and not hot water, just kind of, you know, like, I'd say a little bit cooler than body temperature, maybe like 80, 85 degrees, like 85. Anyways, it just helps to give it a little bit of a jump start. Some of you guys might be wondering, why not just make your own sourdough starter? Why go through all the trouble of like shipping it? And I mean, aside from the obvious that like I have a little piece of my sister here with me, it makes it a lot faster. You can make your own sourdough starter, absolutely. Even once it becomes an active sourdough starter, it still takes a little bit of time after that to be able to make a nice sourdough, something that's got a good rise to it. You know, it takes time for the yeasts to really take hold and to start to really put out good, firm, you know, just good solid bubbles. It just takes a little bit of time, not a lot of time, but it takes a little bit of time to be able to really become a good, I don't know, viable yeast source. You know, it's not just instant, as soon as you get bubbles, bam, you can make like a sourdough loaf. It takes a little bit of time, you know, so it is nice when you can get a sourdough starter from somebody. You can totally make it yourself. I've done it before on here. I'll try and remember to link it down below for you guys, but I'm very excited that I finally get to start making some sourdough stuff. I've been making yeast stuff for myself and my husband. I haven't made it for a little bit, but you know, there was a little bit of a time there where some delicious standard yeast rolls were part of my hyper fixation. But now, hopefully, I'll be able to move on to sourdough, and I'm really excited about it. So I think I'm just gonna go edit this video so that I can get it out to y'all today, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, by the next video, we'll be able to make some nice, tasty sourdough recipe together and check on those peppers. Even though there's no point in checking the peppers because in 3 days they are not going to be ready. Right? They're not going to be sprouted within 3 days. But with the pepper seeds specifically that we started earlier, I am going to put those seed trays on a heat mat because peppers really like to have some nice heat to be able to germinate, and we want to give it what it needs to be able to survive and thrive. So I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace out, sauerkraut.